Toro Power Clear 621E 21-inch width, 163cc overhead valve, 4-cycle engine, electric start, due to your full warranty, which has since expired. Let's get this thing apart and maybe we'll see if we can fire it up. Fire it up! Yeah, let's just poke around a little bit and see what we got. See if there's any life left in it. For some reason or other, it's missing a handle here, but we have this, so we can make a handle. And I'll look, like I said, I'll look through my handles in a bit. All right, fellas, I checked the oil. There is some in it. This don't look bad. This don't look bad. It's not hard to take off. You got a lot of screws and stuff. There's an entryway in there. What if we just go hook up the electric start, and it's got a little fuel in it, and throw some ether in it. Pour some ether in there and just see if it kicks. Let me set up the camera. All right, fellas, let's just see what happens. Let me put my safety glasses on. She's probably going to make a... Well, it's going to shoot out of here, if anything. It's probably going to blow crap all over. That's okay, I'll stand back. It might be priming, I don't know. Alright, we got it running, fellas. Let's get it on the clean line, and then I'll put it to the side. I got another machine to do first. But I think we've got everything off that we need to take off. Yeah, this came off. Okay. All the plastics will wash. It's not too bad. I mean, it's actually a pretty beefy motor. She's running, right? We just need to do a full service to it and get the carburetor cleaned out or replaced. All right, we'll be back. Let me get on the clean line. It's getting late. All right, end of the day, just cleaning up. Toro looks good, fellas. She looks real good. Real good. Let me clean up, get all this stuff in. So I'm getting tired. Yeah, she's nice and clean. She was pretty nasty, huh? It was a good day for this. I still haven't got a chance to work on the van, which is a problem. Just letting it drip. Drip, drip, drip. Let it drip a little bit longer. Let me keep going, put more stuff away. All right, fellas, it's been, I don't know, a week later, whatever. So one reason why I like to clean these things is, well, one, I don't like kids into wildlife and everything. I talk about this a lot, but they need to be clean. This thing is disgusting. I'm not working on disgusting stuff, and I can't make it nice if it's disgusting. But those two things don't go together. Oh, look at how nice, well, they do. Actually, you can say, oh, look at how that thing is nice and disgusting, isn't it? No, people don't buy that. Anyway, cursory inspection, as I like to clean and go over stuff, I can start to see what ain't right and what is right. And remember now, we did a quick little ether test, right? A little hot shot test. It's not 2-stroke, it's 4-stroke, but we got to question the oil that's in there. I think what we'll do is, we know the starter motor kicks over. We want to try to get that lubricated somehow. She want to run, which means she got spark and she got compression. It is missing this handle up here. It's missing the handle that attaches to this, so we got to make that. But before we do that, we're going to want to pull the carburetor off. So this back panel does come off a bit more because we need to get to the carburetor, so we're going to need to take this back panel off a little bit more. And everything else looks really good. I can tell she's in nice shape. Thrown out! Somebody threw it out! Pull that back panel off. We'll get it to carburetor. That we can also get it the valves and the plug and everything. We get in here good. Engine displacement, 163 cc's. It's not too shabby. Assembled in China. Probably a knockoff engine. It is what it is, fellas. That's what we have. It's free. What are you going to complain? I bet you it'll run fine if we get a good carburetor, get everything cleaned up. There was a tag here, kind of get blowed off. The model number, here. I'll get us out. 38452. For whatever that means, we may need that. There's a choke over here. All this stuff. It's all in pretty decent shape. I think we're good to go. I'll see you guys in a bit. I got some other stuff to do today. I'll bring you back in. Mostly, I'm going to show you a little bit about where the screws, nuts, and bolts go. Some tips and tricks on how to service one of these. And then, of course, the carburetor. And I don't think we probably don't need to do anything with the valves. But we won't know until we run it. We're going to want to get that oil out. There's a little bit of oil in there, but we're going to want to run it first just to make sure. I'll see you guys in a bit. I'll bring you along for the ride. Oh my. You got to take off, well, the ignition. This is the primer. You got to unbolt over here. You got to bolt the pull start. Yeah, you got to get all this stuff. You got to take this guy off. You got to take the bolts out of the starter relay thing. But we get into it. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you is look at, this is the fuel, fellas. So that's two-stroke oil, okay? That's what that is. So that was what was in the tank. So that might have been two-stroke gas, and the gas burned off, right, evaporated. But this is a four-stroke engine. So either somebody put that in there to winterize it, which you can do. You know, I gotta take this off too. This unscrews from the back, okay, on the back of this handle. Okay. That's your choke. So anyway, somebody may have put in there to winterize it, or somebody tried to run it on two-smoke fuel. Now, you could see the plug, it's pretty carbonized. Oh, maybe it went into the carburetor and it saved the carburetor. Now I can get to the carburetor. Let's get these off. We'll pull this off, and I'll bring you back in a bit. Oh, there's a tiny little bit of water or something in there. You can see it. So we got to rinse out that tank a little bit more. The throttle is jammed. So this carburetor is dead. Or this is jammed. Well, I don't know. Oh, God. Yeah, let me turn this light on. Yeah, that's... Oh, man, that's jammed, too. So looks like the carburetor it might just be gum. All right, let me try to work that loose. Oh, fellas, look at that. Oh, God. All right, I got some things to move a little bit. It's how I got it out. All right, well, I'm going to go see if I have another carburetor, but sometimes lack of thinner pulls all this out. If this crud didn't... Oh, jeez. If we can loosen up the crud, and you got to get the emulsion tube out. Let me play around with it. Let me see what I can do. That's a Hawaii carburetor, see? I might have another one of these. Oh, God, look at that. I got the jet out. We get a little bit more clean. We got to get the emulsion tube out. I'm surprised I got the jet out. Look at that. That is just nasty. We're just going to keep cleaning it. Let me see what I can... No, well, we'll see. Oh, my goodness. That's the emulsion tube. All right, we're going to dump those things in lacquer thinner. That's what they look like when they're clean with lacquer thinner, but we're going to put them a little bit of acid for a little while and polish them up and then poke through them a little bit more. I can see there's oxidation and stuff still clogging the holes on the emulsion tube. All right, so this is basically the same kind of carburetor. It's a Huayi, Huayi, and this one is a Huayi, same thing. This came out pretty clean, fellas. A little bit of wear on that gasket, but it might work. Let's take this one apart. Let me clean this one up too. This one is working. And let's get this thing cleaned off. Now the other thing too is, you see this? This is your part of your idle jet device, I guess you would say. Let me turn a little light on. And this little gasket down here, that little O-ring, that goes here. And that dried out. And so it broke. I always check stuff like that, because you'll go to put it together and then that will that will peel off and get stuck, and it won't work. Let's watch this guy and see how this guy comes out. All right, fellas, let's take a look. I just want to go over a couple of things. Now, this is the newer style Chinese carburetors. Huayi, Huai. And so this one, because this is in a different position. Also, the primer port on ours is here. And then this one here is on the other side. But this one's in pretty nice shape, so we're going to hold on to it. We'll go over a couple of things. So I poked through all of these holes. And there's a lot of oxidation on this, so it may or may not work. There's even some oxidation down in there. One of the things that we can do, hold on, let me set up for it. And what I did before is I took some of my acid, my light acid. And this time we're just going to use some tranny sauce, but I ran my light acid in here. It's a type of a phosphoric acid, which is basically the same crap you're putting in your mouth when you're drinking Coca-Cola and Diet Coke and everything. So I ran that in there, and it cleaned it up pretty good. Let's just run this in here. I like the ones with the wood sticks better. Yeah, that should work. Let me blow it. And then there's a hole down in here. That's a vent. It's kind of a bowl vent. It's to stop. This whole passage here is a part of the phenolic adapter. It's to reduce the possibility of percolation, which would be vapor lock. Now, this was plugged. So this is a Takumi needle with the keeper on it. And I like to keep these because they always seem to fit in so many of these little holes. This was plugged. So I ran that through. Okay, let me put a little gum out down in that. Blow it. You're not going to get everything mint, fellas, but I think this is pretty good. There's still a little bit of gack. So let's put a little bit of our tranny sauce on that. That'll help that gasket to seal and keep it nice. So we got that done. And so I just wanted to show you that. That's very useful. So this is the emulsion tube. Remember what it looked like. And of course, there are these little holes, which I went through already. And all of these little holes here. You know what I mean? I went through all of those. And of course, down through the center. So that's done. So what we're going to do is we're going to put, and I also ran my Q-tip down there in a brush and blew it and rinsed it. So now that goes down. Let me get my little tool here. This is a Takumi tool. They make them in a few different sizes. Tecumseh 670377. It's got taper here. It's perfect for putting in seats. This one's a brass seat. But we'll just make sure that's in. It's down all the way, which it is. Now let's take, so this was the one that was kind of oxidized. Came out of our carb. But I think we should take the one that's better from that other carburetor. Right, let's put that in. Let's see if we can get it to work, right? And I grabbed it on one end so there'd be a burr there on this pin. Seems to be moving in pretty good. There we go. Yeah, it went in. Looks like it's fitting about right. Let's check to see if it seals up. It'll blow. Feels about right. All right, we'll check it again when we're done. All right, now, both of these bowls are in pretty good shape, but this one actually is fine. All right, so this is the face, the choke, and this is the throttle, and I put it over here, okay, in this lineup. Let's just tighten that up. This should be 10 millimeter. And you can always reach in there and adjust it. And then this guy is for here. That's your bowl drain. And you want to make sure you free that up. Ours is pretty nasty, but we want to make sure we free it up. Okay. Now we want to put this back in, which is that's actually our idle jet. It's an orifice tube. And again, taking this guy, I cleaned it pretty good. You don't want to stick this in lacquer thinner or anything. Let's see if it'll go in. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes there is no hole there. Let's see, this is the original. Yeah, there may not be a hole. Let's see if I can see it. Yeah, like one of the smallest ones I have. It's the size of a pin. It really is tiny. And you can break these real easy too. I don't know, will this one grab it? It may not. Sometimes if you grab it on the side. We just want to stick it in there, see if we can get it in. It's so small. Yeah, I think we can grab it. Be real careful with this. You can also leave it in some acid. I forgot to do that. You know, a really fine pin might do it. Yeah, she's starting to go in. There we go. It's in. We just want to make sure that it's clear. Okay, let me blow it out. Again, a little bit of phosphoric acid. Your best bet. And we want to put a little bit of lubricant on it anyway. This is, again, the tranny sauce. It will not hurt any of these O-rings. So the other one, we broke an O-ring, but this is the one from that spare carburetor. And then it goes to flat, right? That flat goes up against this flat here, this little detent, and just press it in. And it's in. Now we can put this screw in. So this is a regular screw type Phillips, and this has got one of them specialty cam action. So let's just put this guy in. So we're going to go in all the way. It's about 5 turns, I seem to remember. We'll go all the way in, lightly touch off. All right, then I got a mark on my screwdriver. I'll go here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do 4.5. I like it sticking out a little bit more. I want a little bit more sort of idle throttle. You know, give it that oomph. It's also getting older, and it may have an issue. Those are our extra parts, fellas. Let me clean up. And remember, this was all stuck. So a little bit of lube on everybody. You're working good. All right, we can wipe it off. And we're going to go install it. And I'll give you some tips on that in a bit. Let me straighten up, put my toys away. All right, so this is the best routing I can come up with. It's tight. Oh, you want to check to make sure your throttle's opening. Okay. And this would have gone over here, but they changed it. They must have changed it. It just goes down. I don't know why. Whatever. It would have recaptured, maybe because it's a snow machine, but it would have recaptured any gases coming out of here and tried to burn them again. This all looks good. All right, this is replaced. This is just sort of hanging on here. Let me kind of wipe and blow this out a little bit. We'll try and fold it up. I'll get the plug in first. And then we'll have to bring this over and start reconnecting most of this here. That looks good in there, right? Maybe put a little chain wax in that. Get everything ready for, I guess, the final. Not bad. NGKs, man. You clean them up, they last a long time. About 30,000s. I put a little bit of no-seas on there. And let's install it. All right, fellas, I checked the oil. The oil looks pretty clean, but you know, it could have water in it. But it's good enough for now. I'm gonna have to move this wire, this big wire here from the starter motor. It needs to be on the other side of this, I believe. But everything else I think I got correct. Let's turn it on. Let's prime it. And I got the choke hooked up. I think we just pull it out for choke. Let's give it a fire up. Let it run. Let it warm up. I'm leaving the choke on. Sounds good. Let it warm up. There we go. All right. We'll be back. All right, fellas, I loosened this up, but the impact, it's never been off. It's nice and warm. Rain good? Oh, guys, got a little bit of water in it. We got to tilt it. Just a little. Yeah, probably tilt it a little bit more, too. Yeah, let the, oh, it stinks. Yeah, oh man. All right, we'll tilt that a little bit more in a bit. Let it do its thing. We'll come back. And not to mention it's thin. Yeah, this has never been changed. She ran real good. Everything ran real good, right? I'm gonna go look through my handle assemblies and we'll make something up for that, but we'll put all the rest of this on. But I think I can show you here. I don't want to touch it too much, but look. See the interference here? I put the tie wrap back here, that's where it belongs. But this, I'm guessing, needs to come tighter in, maybe on the other side. I don't know, let me think about that. You don't want that. That's an electrical cord. That goes over to here. All right. Yeah, that's gross. Yeah, and it's like, there's always that little bit of aluminum in there. Let me get rid of this. All right, looks pretty good, right? See, I moved it. See how it looks better? I could probably put a little tie there too, right? Just to keep things out of the way. Everything's good there, right? See the choke, right? That's how the choke rod goes. Remember, there's a screw on the back side of this. I put some chain wax all up in here on that mechanism. On the wires, the terminals, and then down behind this pivot here, behind there, here, let me show you. When you grab the cord here, the wire, you can see it works nice. Everything works really nice. We'll get in here in a little bit, but let me get the cover on now, and then we'll work on this handle. We're going to figure out what's going on with that in a bit. All right, so I got this in and the other one on that side. Then I put these two up here, but I realized you got to take this one back out, screw this black piece in. You could probably just put this on first and lay it down. But now that I got it in, right, it looks like it lays nice. We can put that screw back, and then we'll work this in. Remember, this is all lubricated, so we should be okay. Everything looks really good. So we'll get that on, and then I can figure out what to do with the handle. I'm sorry, fellas, I forgot to show you, but this ring goes down first, and then there's this inner ring. Okay, and so when this ring goes down first, one little screw in the front holds it, and then this ring here goes on with these bolts then this piece and this piece get bolted together. And somebody had the washers the wrong way. So you see where I put the washers on the inside. Now this seems to be working pretty good. We want to make sure this is going all right. We still got to come back for a final, but here's what I did here. So let me show you. So this I had outside. So this comes all the way back nice. It just had to bend this out a little bit. And then you've seen these. These are on a lot of the lawnmowers. So that's just a stop I like to save, because otherwise it would flop all the way over. We already had this piece here and this, so we tested the actuation. So I like to save these. This is a nice beefy one. And then these locks, I'll show you more about that. So these little locks you can get on Amazon. And so this one has the Z-bend on it, and you just adjust it up so that there's like no play. This is one that broke, so I just use it as an extra stop to take, hold it a little bit better, And then I'll cut this in a little bit, okay? We'll probably drape that through there and cut it. Let's bring it out and give it another test and see. It feels like it has a little bit of slack, so we want to make sure. And by the way, and if that belt starts to stretch or whatever, we have this thing here. We can put it into another hole, so you can come a little bit closer over here or over here. Okay? So there's some adjustability. I think that looks pretty good. Let's get it outside. It's getting late. The sun's going down. These are some of the ones that I keep. All these extras, right? A lot of them are short. There's some more here. I got to put them away. But look, I like to keep them in this old Craftsman bag, right? Catcher. Isn't that nice? Right? This is like the Indestructo, old school, vinyl. All right, let's give it a test. All right, on, prime, full choke. Choke. So it's not moving. It keeps digging up the lawn. All right, let's bring it in. It's working good. Why does it keep digging up the lawn like that? Oh my goodness, look what it does. Yeah, I guess I can't use it on my lawn, huh? It needs some kind of a skid system. All right, let's get out of here. The sun's going down, it's freezing out. So this is the screw I was talking about for the choke. It really didn't even need the choke. Everything looks good. Look at how everything looks underneath here. I think it looks real good. A little oil and some chain wax on that. Also in here, because this moves, fellas, right? See? So, and this got cleaned last time. Get that rock out. So all that's lubricated. I think I'll put a little bit of chain wax on that spring. That'll keep the springs from rotting too. And I think we're good underneath here. We don't need to do anything else. All right, I got what I could in here. They're nylon bearings, but I put a little oil and chain wax in there. Same thing with this. I see there was some scratching going on. I think things got a little bit bent, but it looks pretty good overall. Right, we'll try to get some more in there. It's not doing it anymore. See. Also, because I took this and I bent it over, what I like to do is grab one of these big guys, and you just kind of get in here and just kind of pull everything over. You got to hold on to it good. So I think we're good there. It's so common because you're twisting and doing your thing. It's common on every system, every snowblower, and this is thin metal. What I like though, unlike the plastic one that I'm going to be working on next, this is all welded steel tub where it counts, and then plastic everywhere else. All right, I think that's it, fellas. Well, it just goes to show you, fellas. This was in the garbage. People throw stuff out. They throw nice stuff out. I think this little red handle, that worked out pretty good. That's like a bonus that it's red. It kind of ties in. That's simply by luck. Although I have a lot more of this kind of stuff outside, but it's mounted to handles. What I showed you was just the extra stuff hanging around. This thing's in nice shape. It really is. This is a nice machine. I think overall, whoever gets it is going to be real happy. Bring it outside, get some pictures of it. People, I say this all the time. The damnedest things they throw out. Dude, you could have bought another carburetor for it, popped it on there. But I have stuff laying around, and I figured, well, let's get in, because I haven't been in one of these carburetors. I think I was in one once so far. I really try to stay away from some of the knockoff engines, but that's just not going to be the case anymore, fellas. It's these alternate engines are going to be out there for, well, they're already out there, and now that they're going to be more popular, and they're going to just be out there, and we're going to have to fix stuff like that. And it would be a real shame to throw something like this out just simply because you didn't like the motor. It runs really good. Like, it runs fine. Will it hold up as long as some of the older Briggs or whatever? I don't know. I guess we'll find out on that. If you guys have anything you want to say about that, if you have one of these, or if you got a little bit more experience than I do with some of the China Cat engines, let me know. I was trying to avoid them, but I'm not going to anymore. There's no choice. I'll see you guys on the next episode. All right, stay tuned.